So welcome back to another rebuild here on NBA 2K25 Next Gen. In today's video, we are back with another episode of our Trading Every Player rebuild series, and today it's going to be the Los Angeles Lakers. I'm pretty confident at this point that the majority of you are aware about how these work. If you are, just maybe skip ahead a few seconds, but if this is your first time watching one of these videos, or you have no idea how these things go, let me explain it to you. It's pretty simple. Before year one kicks off, before we start simulating any of these games, I have to trade away every single player that is currently on the Los Angeles Lakers roster. Of course, I'll have no say in any of these trades. At no point in time may anybody who is currently on the Lakers come back to my team, and goal is to win a championship. And a couple things before we get into this video. If you do not care about what I am probably going to say, just go ahead and skip ahead like 30-ish seconds. It should be gameplay by that point. First and foremost, let me know any other video ideas down below in the comment section. I'm very much looking forward to getting into some more challenges as we kick off 2025. I know they are videos you guys want to see. Anything and everything, excuse me. Let me hear it down below there in the comment section. Okay, second, I know it's been like 2 weeks since we've had a video. That was intentional. I was taking some time off to enjoy the holidays with the family. We are back here on Monday, and I'm very excited to be back. It is good to be back. I think, ultimately, I don't take breaks very often, but when I do, it's a good reset for everybody. So I'm excited to be back. I very much enjoyed the break. I hope you guys are excited to be back watching these videos as well. So thank you guys for, understanding, I guess, if you will. But excited for this one today. Let's get into it. I'm not going to lie to you. When I was going over my list of teams that I had already done and the teams I had not, because I keep a list for every series, because if I didn't, I would get completely confused. I was surprised I hadn't done the Lakers. Going through previous comment sections on these videos, they are a very requested team because, of course, one of, if not the most popular team in the NBA for a reason. So yeah, my apologies for the delay. I don't know if I was just looking at other comments or just intentionally pushing it off, but my apologies. But we are here. Of course, we are at the start of the 24-25 campaign. We intentionally do not use start today because that wouldn't make much sense if we, kind of cued in to where the Lakers are with the team they currently have at this point in time this season. So yeah, we know what the Lakers team is. There are moments that they can look really, really good and like a serious contender, and there are moments where I'm saying, why the hell is LeBron James wasting his final years here? So I think our goals today is to obviously get the most value in return. That is the immediate goal, and hopefully we're able to do that. So Anthony Davis, when healthy, still as dominant as ever. Only 3 trade offers for him. What I am going to do is I'm actually going to check and see if I move him to the power forward spot, or there may be a few more. Sometimes when you move positions around, things can get interesting. Okay, so there's 5 now if we list AD as a power forward. Again, it's not a ton, but at least it's more than 3. Gives us a little bit more flexibility. You can take a look at some of these offers right here. I'm not going to lie to you, I don't love really any of them. I would have actually taken Chet Holmgren probably as my first offer, but don't have that one anymore. So 5 offers. I'm going to close the eyes, as you can see right here. Do not want anybody to think I'm cheating, and we'll stop right about now. And it is going to be LaMelo Ball and Tijon Salon from the Charlotte Hornets for Davis and Cam Reddish. Okay, LaMelo's not a bad player. Don't get me wrong like that. I don't think he's Anthony Davis, but again, only 23 years old. I think that definitely brings me a little bit of excitement. So, LaMelo, welcome to the team. Maybe the point guard this Lakers team's been looking for a little while now. Next up is going to be LeBron. Of course, basically 40 years old, and he is, still really, really good. Pretty much at the top of this game, top of the league, if you will. Now, we only had 3 offers for him there as a power forward. Moving to the small forward may actually end up being less, which is something, yeah, that's what I thought. That is what I thought. Okay, if I was, going to do this in a favorable way, if you will, I would likely keep him at small forward and take one of these 2 because they are both significantly better, in my opinion, than any of the 3 offers we got for him while he's listed as a power forward. But I'm not going to do that. I am not going to do that because it feels a little cheesy. So, yeah, I don't want Paul George. This one wouldn't be terrible. Sabonis I could live with. So I'm just kind of hoping we don't get that first one there from the 76ers. That would be really unfortunate. So stop. And it is going to be Domantas Sabonis and Malik Monk. I can live with it. It's not my favorite trade in the world. At the end of the day, you're never going to get fair value in return. It just kind of is what it is. It's how these things go. And for those of you who are wondering, yes, untouchables are off. There's no player in the league is currently listed as untouchable. But those are the offers we got for a 39-year-old LeBron James. Our new, star duo is going to be Sabonis and LaMelo Ball. All right, making our way through the list. We're going to start kind of doing these 2 at a time just because given contract situation and how long this process can typically take, it does make a little bit more sense. So 21 offers here for Reeves and Hachimura. Hopefully some nice quality role players. I don't really expect a star here for these 2, but hopefully something nice. Stop. And it is going to be Chris Middleton and AJ Green. Okay, Chris Middleton's not a star anymore, I would say, but he's certainly a guy that can still go out, give you quality minutes when healthy, when on the floor. He can definitely get you a bucket in a big situation, so I'm fine with that. DFS, of course, one of the newest addition to the Lakers, him and Dalton Connect, who has been an interesting rookie season for him. I'll say that. He started off, obviously, catching fire. It felt like he was the easy lock-on odds favorite for Rookie of the Year, and then has maybe tailed off a little bit, but still a quality NBA player, no doubt about that, and is certainly still a steal for what the Lakers did draft him. So let's scroll through this and see what we're going to end up with here. What we're going to do right now is we're going to stop. My eyes are still closed. We're actually going to go one to the right. That is going to be Zach Collins and Charles Bassey, or it would have been Jock Lawndale and Steven Adams. Okay, we're definitely getting a better player here, or two better players here, but giving up my first-round pick in 2026 really sucks. Not that we're going to be bad, but it is another tradable asset that clearly has some value. So I'd say that's our worst trade so far. I think that's maybe a fair assumption. Yeah, something else to remember in these videos, I don't turn off previously traded draft picks. So every pick that the Lakers have traded that I have access to is actually still traded. I don't get to just get that back. So interesting. Jared Vanderbilt, where are you at, buddy? Right? I feel like I haven't seen you on a basketball court in like a year. Oh boy. We'll do him and Max Christie. Just seeing what we can get here. 17 offers is certainly not bad, but slowly but surely making our way through some of the role players, some of the reserves for this Lakers team. Stop. And it is going to be De'Aaron Sharp and Trendon Watford, and guess what? We're giving up another draft pick. Oh boy, not my favorite thing to do. Okay, I think we have eliminated a decent amount. Here we'll do Shake Milton. I'm pretty sure everybody from Trendon Watford up is good. I'll double check, of course, but Shake Milton, of course, is also in that deal with the Brooklyn Nets that the Lakers got DFS in, and now we have 22 different trade offers to trade him away now. And it's going to be, you guessed it, another fucking draft pick. This game is not being nice to me today, and I am not very happy. Now, don't get me wrong, Scottie Pippen Jr. and Vince Williams are quality role players, and I'm happy to have them, but 3 future first-round picks, we've basically given up our future at this point because we are out of draft capital, which is definitely going to hinder my flexibility when off-season number 1 rolls around. So we're going to have to get creative is what I'm really trying to say right now. All right, Gabe Vincent. I think the Lakers would not be too upset if they were able to trade him. And then could I do Hood Schifino and Bronny? Because Bronny, does have to go as well. All right, we have 4 offers. That's fine. It's not the end of the world either way. Stop. And it is going to be Mitchell Robinson. Interesting. Actually, not terrible offers there. And we're giving up a second-round pick there. All right, I believe is the key word there. That should clear out everybody who is currently a Laker in real life right now. Scottie Pippen, of course, was a Laker at one point, but he didn't start out this video a Laker. Of course, we don't do the two-way players. So, yeah, we are good. Another rule, of course, many of you probably privy to this. We cannot make any other trades now because, of course, we have traded away the entire roster. That, of course, is until the first offseason. So, I am stuck with what we got. We will move some positions around for sure. I'll see you guys with this rotation. After deliberating for a few minutes and kind of figuring out the way I wanted to go about this team in this 10-man rotation, we have finally come to a conclusion, and I have reached an agreement with myself internally, I guess. All right, here's how it's going to look. It is LaMelo Ball, Malik Monk, no surprises there in the backcourt. Middleton at the 3, not a shocker. Maybe the first surprise is that I'm playing Sabonis at the 4, and the reason that I'm doing that is not because I think he's a better fit at the power forward spot in the center position. It is strictly a personnel decision. We are loaded, absolutely loaded in the center department. So much depth there, and pretty much every single guy we have is a quality NBA player. So I'm moving him to the 4 because there's not a lot of quality depth at that power forward spot. It is likely only going to be a 1-year thing, but it's how it's going to work here for year 1. So he's going to start at the power forward spot, and of course Mitchell Robinson, who I still really can't believe we got for Jalen Hood Schifino, Gabe Vincent, and Bronny James. That kind of felt like a steal. Of course, we don't play with injuries on, so maybe that helps us out quite a bit here with Robinson. Bench unit's pretty decent. I'll give us that. It's going to be Scottie Pippen Jr., Zach Collins, Vince Williams Jr., AJ Green, and then T-John Solana is playing. Trendon Watford is technically a higher overall power forward than he is, but just given the upside and the potential of Solana, I think it makes a little bit more sense to give him 10 minutes a night as the final guy in the rotation. So that's what we're working with here for year 1. I've certainly had worse. I've probably had better, but this is pretty damn good for a year 1 team. Now, the only thing to keep in mind is that, of course, we don't have our first round pick this year or next year or really any year. So definitely something we're going to have to kind of keep an eye on in the offseason. But I think this is a playoff team even in a loaded Western Conference and maybe even a contender. We'll find out. I'll see you guys at the end of year 1. First season is officially over, and we were okay. We were nothing special. We were 45 and 37 on the year, and I think there's still some pretty glaring holes with this team. We'll figure it out. Now, Luka Doncic, he is your MVP here in 2K. Unbelievable season, very much deserving. Jared McCain, Rookie of the Year. You know, you take a look at the MVP, Rookie of the Year, certainly two possibilities, and in real life, until both of them were injured. Miles Bridges is your Sixth Man of the Year. Wemby is your Depoy, probably the odds-on favorite right now. Jalen Suggs, Most Improved. Anthony Edwards, Clutch Player of the Year, and 64 and 18. I feel like the Mavericks always win 64 games, like on the dot in year one. I don't think I'm making that up. Maybe I am. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about it. We won 45 games, so we, I guess, miraculously avoided the play-in. The bad news for us is, if you can do some quick math in your head and figure it out, we're going to be facing the Denver Nuggets in round one. And historically, you know, after the bubble, I guess, the Lakers don't have a ton of luck against the Denver Nuggets. You know, it's a little bit different because obviously no LeBron or AD, but yeah, that's probably not going to go our way in round one. Here are the numbers. LaMelo Ball was pretty good. Malik Monk, our second leading scorer. You got Sabonis in here, Chris Middleton, Scottie Pippen, Collins Robinson, Vince Williams, Green, Salon. Rebounding department going to be Sabonis assist. Also Sabonis. He's doing a lot for us. Okay, it is us in Denver here in round one. It is Jamal Murray, Christian Brown, MPJ, Aaron Gordon, Nikola Jokic. Russ has been fantastic for them. I think Russell Westbrook at this point in his career has really found like the perfect role for himself. And again, if there are Lakers fans watching this, please don't kill me because I'm talking good about Russell Westbrook. I know many of you despise him. So we do win game one on the road. They do take home game two. We lose game three. Tie it up at 2-2. Go up 3-2. And the times, they are a changing, my friend, because we take down Jokic and the Nuggets in round one. Wow. Maybe all the Lakers got to do is get rid of LeBron and AD. Maybe that's all it takes. No, I'm just kidding. All right, well, we now move on to Minnesota, who has just not been themselves this year. And I think the real thing that's got to hurt for Minnesota is not only the fact that I don't want to say they didn't blow up a team that was in the West Finals last year, but they significantly altered a team that was in the West Finals last year, trading away their second best player in Karl Anthony Towns. And really, what it comes down to is that their owner's a cheap fuck because he didn't want to get hit in the second apron. But Julius Randle has not been great for Minnesota, while Karl Anthony Towns has been unbelievably great for the New York Knicks and will likely be an all-star starter. But I'm getting off topic right now. I think Minnesota is still a good team. I just think they're not as good as they once were. They suck here, apparently, because we're up 3-1, and we win the series, and we are in the West Finals. You know, seeing a lower-seeded Lakers team in the Western Conference Finals, not that out of the pick or out of the question, because they've done it before in recent years. So still no Bron, still no AD, but somehow LaMelo, Sabonis carrying us to the promised land as we are now taking on the 4-seeded Oklahoma City Thunder. I find that a little hard to believe. I don't think this Oklahoma City team is even close to a 4 seed. But okay, here we go. Drop game 1 and game 2 on the road. Win game 3 on our home floor. They take game 4, and we get bounced in 5. Ultimately, oh my God. It felt like that was a bit of a Cinderella run. You know, pretty much our entire playoff, success, if you will, but it's fine. SGA in the Thunder taking on Tatum and the Celtics. This is certainly a possibility in real life, and if it does happen, I hope my Celtics are able to go back-to-back. They do here in 2K, and Tatum, your finals MVP. Okay, it is now time for the first offseason. Wow. LeBron actually called it a career. He played 1 year in Sacramento, and at age 40, after 22 seasons in the NBA, he is officially calling it a career. Wow. Well, I guess that's the one positive about doing this kind of video with the Lakers, is that I don't have to worry about overriding LeBron's retirement or anything like that. I'll take a look at the draft lottery, even though obviously we don't have any picks in here because we currently don't own any first-round picks. I'm surprised the Rockets were bad enough to land number 1 overall. That shocks me. JJ Redick has, really quality ratings for a guy that has really never coached before, so we'll keep him. Obviously had a pretty good playoff run, and I think there's certainly some success that can be had with this team led by him. So, yep, we have 2 second-round picks, and they are both this year. Nobody wants either of them. All right, I'm not using second-round picks right now. My biggest goal, seriously, nobody wants it? All right, I guess we'll draft somebody at number 23. Maybe we get a steal in round 2. Mikey Williams is sitting here? Interesting. Yeah, I don't really think there's much Carter Knox. Zavanovic, Ivisic. I'm just thinking like positional need. We really don't have one that jumps out at me immediately. So Mikey Williams, sure. It feels kind of like a Lakers second-round pick. Mikey Williams, welcome to the team. It's only 70 overall, but it's better than nothing. Middleton accepts his player option. Not really crazy surprising. We're not going to qualify two-way players like Koloko, but Deron Sharp, who was not even in the rotation, we'll get a qualifying. So, yeah, we don't have any major free agents. I mean, Bassi and Sharp are two that kind of jump out at me, and I actually am going to pay both of them because letting them go for nothing would be pretty stupid in my opinion. So, like Trenton Watford, Cameron Payne, neither of which were in the rotation. I'm probably just going to let go. Honestly, they're both nice role players, but we do have a decent amount of depth right now. My biggest goal is upgrading this team in terms of star power. So, we have some moves to make. I might get some shit for this trade, and honestly, I would kind of understand it, because on paper, this certainly isn't the best trade in the world. But the thing that I am kind of taking home with this deal, and I guess the thing I'm really kind of banking on, is the fact that I've seen Bilal Coulibaly develop really well throughout these 3-year rebuilds, whereas Chris Middleton is now an expiring contract, entering his age 34 season. It doesn't really make a lot of sense to invest in him as a long-term option. Now, Tijan Salon is somebody I did want to hang on to, but ultimately we're getting two really young players in return. It's not like we're losing a lot in the youth department here. So I think Coulibaly is going to bring a ton to us defensively. It is certainly something we need to upgrade, and I'm really happy to have him here. To this day, I'm still not really sure why it's so easy to trade for Darius Garland. Now, obviously, you can see the trade package that we are going to give up, and yeah, maybe Darius Garland isn't a perfect fit on this team next to LaMelo Ball. Of course, we'd move LaMelo to the 2-guard spot, but it's 2K, and ultimately, if you score a lot of points and you have a lot of high overalls, it tends to work out for the best. So there's nothing wrong with the way Malik Monk played, but I've had him in previous rebuilds, and I know for a fact he is eventually going to regress. So I'm going to kind of sell high on the great season he just had, pick up Darius Garland, add another star next to LaMelo and Sabonis, and yeah, I think this is another move that we're not getting away with murder necessarily, but not giving up a single draft pick feels like a really big steal for us. Our next trade is going to come with the Denver Nuggets, of course, the team that we upset in round 1 of last year's playoffs. It is going to be Mitchell Robinson, Dean Wade, who, of course, we just acquired from the Cleveland Cavaliers, and Vince Williams Jr. for Aaron Gordon and Deron Holmes II. Now, Aaron Gordon is not a superstar or anything like that, but I think he's a much better fit with this team. It also allows us to move Sabonis back to the 5, maybe his more natural position anyways. I think overall-wise, it is a smart move. So we've now pulled off 3 major trades without really giving up a ton in terms of value. Of course, none of these deals even had a single draft pick included in them. So I've been really happy with the moves we've made so far. Are we championship favorites? I don't think we're quite there yet, but we have a pretty good team. I would like to upgrade the backup point guard spot. It is nice getting Mikey Williams in round 2 for, basically nothing, but he's definitely, is not ready to play yet, at least in my opinion. So Green and LaMelo, it's going to be Coulibaly and Keyshawn George. Aaron Gordon, and honestly, Deron Holmes could play, or I could just move either Bassi or Sharp, I guess, to the backup power forward spot. I mean, again, neither of them are really great shooters, but it's fine. So let's just move, I don't know, Bassi stays the same. Sharp stays relatively similar. It's fine. He's a little shorter, I guess. That makes some sense. So what I am going to do right now is I'm going to go ahead and take a look at some options in the point guard spot. We're not going to find anybody here that's unbelievably talented or anything like that, but honestly, I'll take a flyer on Monte Morris, 30 years old, and it's definitely an upgrade from what we are working with right now. So I'm happy. I think we're in a pretty good spot, and definitely better than we were last year. So I'll see you guys at the start of year 2. It's kind of hard for me to say that last season's team had a bit of a Cinderella run, but ultimately it's kind of what it is. Anytime a lower seed, like a 6 seed, like we were, goes on to the Western Conference Finals, it's not the norm. It's not what regularly happens. I decided that it kind of felt like that was a one-and-done type of situation. We had to make some big moves, and big moves we made. Now, here's how it's going to look heading into year 2. I have no idea why Darius Garland regresses. He's 25 years old, right? I'd like somebody at 2K headquarters to explain that logic to me. Just want to sit down. Look, I don't have a problem with him being an 87 overall. I think that's a fine and a fair overall for how good he is, but he shouldn't go from an 89 to an 87. That doesn't make much sense. Let's just get on the same page about that. Moving LaMelo to the 2 is, I don't want to say risky, because he certainly has the size and the profile and the frame to play the 2-guard spot, but he's more of a 1 just given the way he plays. So I'm a little nervous about that, but I think we should be fine. Coulibaly, obviously a new addition here at the 3, Aaron Gordon at the 4, and then moving Sabonis back to the 5, I think is probably one of the smarter moves we made so far. Now, the bench unit take maybe a little bit of a hit. It's not a crazy hit because we had a lot of depth that we traded away. AJ Green, a.k.a. Derry Bird, is going to be my 6th man here at my backup shooting guard spot. You got Charles Bassi here, Keyshawn George, Deron Sharp, and Monte Morris rounding out the 10-man. So, we're good. I think we have more star power than last year. I think a little bit more defense here as well will definitely benefit us. And I think we're in a spot where we can hopefully get back to the West Finals and maybe even the NBA Finals at this point. So who knows? I'll see you guys at the end of year 2. We see Luka Doncic win another MVP here at the end of our 2nd season, but more importantly, we have a much better year here in LA. We go 60-22. Now, I don't know if that's the driver's seat here in the Western Conference, but it is certainly a bigger step from where we were a season ago. Now, Luka, as we mentioned, other MVP. Cooper Flagg is in Charlotte. He's your Rookie of the Year. Giddey, Sixth Man of the Year, now in, I almost said Oklahoma City, in Portland. Wemby wins another deep point. Bones Highland, Most Improved. Wemby also wins Clutch Player of the Year. And our guy, JJ Redick, leading this team to 60 wins. Typically, by 2K logic, that is just the best record. So 4 games up on Dallas for the 1 seed. And, yeah, we might need to relegate this conference. This is disgusting. Quite honestly, it's one of the grossest things I've ever seen in my life. All right, it is LaMelo Ball leading the charge at a shooting guard spot. Darius Garland, Domantas Sabonis, Aaron Gordon, Coulibaly, Green, Sharp, Bassey, George, and then Morris. Rebounding department is going to be Sabonis. Assist is LaMelo. All right, we are facing a play-in team. That team is the Houston Rockets. Dennis Schroeder, now a member of the Houston. Amen Thompson, Cam Whitmore, Jabari Smith, Şengün. Yeah, this is a really good Houston team, especially for a play-in team. I guess that's kind of just what you get in the West, but that team has a lot of depth, more than us, certainly. And I think we might have them beaten the star power department, but I guess it doesn't matter. We're just kind of, no. 2K. Okay, wow. I actually thought we were going to lose that. Moving on to Oklahoma City. Of course, the team that beat us last year in the Western Conference Finals. They have not really made a major move. They are kind of just continuing to rebuild with their young core. There's nothing wrong with that, but maybe they're lacking a bit at their 2 and their 3. Not that Wallace or Dort are bad players, but they're certainly, given their assets, could make an upgrade there. We split the first 2 at home, win game 3 and game 4 on the road, and they win game 5. No, 2K, thank you. Back in the West Finals. Back-to-back series that have gone 7 games. I don't necessarily love that, but it's kind of what you expect. Okay, Dallas is really good. They have the best backcourt in basketball. They have one of the best players in the world in Luka Doncic, and this is not going to be an easy series. There's no doubt about that. So split the first 2, do win game 3 on the road. They take home game 4. We go down 3-2, force game 7, win game 7. Wow, and we are now taking on an old friend, Anthony Davis, and the Charlotte Hornets here in the NBA Finals. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm surprised this Hornets team is here, and I'm also surprised that they're stupid enough to have Cooper Flagg come off the bench for the likes of Karis LeVert and Mark Williams. So, yeah, I mean, Anthony Davis is unbelievable. He is playing at a very high level and has obviously done a lot of heavy lifting alongside Brandon Miller to get this Hornets team here, but this conference absolutely stinks, and I feel like I shouldn't be terribly worried about the possibilities here. That's just kind of what's going to happen, isn't it? All right, well, LaMelo Ball moved him to the 2-guard spot and has an absolutely fantastic finals against his old team and takes home the finals MVP award. So, you know, technically this video is completed. The challenge is over, but we're not going to end it. We always do 3 years. Here's a look at some player retirements, staff retirements. Popovich, wow. That's crazy. Russell Westbrook, draft lottery time. Again, we have not really been working with anything in the draft pick department, just given the moves that, you know, I guess we made per se, but we really didn't make them. So it is what it is. JJ's going to obviously stay on as we approach the 2026 draft. I don't foresee a crazy move. We have no draft picks this year, so that's fine. Coulibaly, George, Holmes, and Mikey Williams all going to be brought back. Thank you very much. I don't know if we're going to make anything major. Might have a bench upgrade or 2. AJ Green, certainly somebody I'd like to extend. Having him as an elite 6th man is a really good decision to bring him back. So welcome back to the team. 3 years, roughly $37 million. And I think we're just going to upgrade 1 or 2 bench spots. Oh, wow. I was surprised that went through. Okay, well, the Celtics were willing to trade us. Peyton Pritchard, who is very much in the actual 6th man of the year conversation right now and is a clear-cut upgrade at our backup point guard spot. So, yeah, that was every draft pick we had remaining and pretty much every tradable asset in the player department. So that is going to be the one move we make. I know maybe not super exciting, but if it ain't broke, don't really fix it. You kind of get me. So, yeah, I'll just see you guys at the start of year 3. We are hoping to go back-to-back. Those are always some of my favorite words to say because it, of course, means we have already accomplished our goal, but it does not mean that this video is over. Now, starting 5 remains exactly the same. Garland, Ball, Coulibaly, Gordon, Sabonis. Bench unit, I was surprised the Celtics were willing to trade us Peyton Pritchard. Not only because he's really good, but we're also the Lakers and they're the Celtics, and not really 2 teams that historically trade with each other. You got AJ Green sliding into a 7th man role. He sees his minutes decrease by 2. It is not the end of the world. Still got Keyshawn George, Charles Bassey, and Deron Sharp. So, yeah, I fully expect this team to be at the top of the Western Conference or pretty damn close, and I definitely expect contention. So, see you guys at the end of the final regular season. We see a 1-game improvement year over year. I mean, again, I wasn't really sure if I was expecting anything crazy, but nonetheless, we do get just a pinch better. Victor Wembanyama is, yeah, he's going to take over the league very, very shortly. I wouldn't be surprised if he won the MVP next season. Like, it legitimately wouldn't shock me. He's, like, already a top 5 player It's fucking scary. I'll put this out there for y'all. I'm just gonna put this out there. I'm glad my team has won a championship in recent years because good fucking luck to the rest of you. Cameron Boozer's your rookie of the year. Sasser, sixth man. Wemby wins another depoy. Devin Carter most improved, and De'Aaron Fox is now in Memphis. Interesting. How would him and Ja Morant fit together? I ask as I have LaMelo and Darius Garland in the same backcourt. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the standings. We are 1 seed once again, 2 games up on Wemby in the Spurs, and maybe potential Western Conference Finals matchup. Could be fun. LaMelo just doing it all in the scoring department. He has really, really blossomed and taken over this team. Garland, Sabonis, Gordon, Coulibaly, Green, Pritchard, Sharp, George, and then Bassey. Rebounds going to be Sabonis. Assists is LaMelo. Okay, it is us in Denver once again here in round 1. They have added Jimmy Butler, which, you know, I'm waiting. I don't know if did I mention this in the beginning of the video? I'm waiting for Jimmy Butler to get traded. I have a lot of thoughts on that situation, and a lot of them will be further explained in that video whenever he is traded, but obviously it is the end of Jimmy's time in Miami, at least it looks that way. But Denver is certainly one of the teams that I feel like is in the mix. You know, a Michael Porter Jr. trade is not out of the question. We'll see. But Jimmy in Denver would be scary as hell. It really would be. So here goes nothing in round 1 against Denver, who was just loaded, by the way. I'm not really sure why they are an 8 seed, but that's the Western Conference for you. We do win the series in 5. We move on to the New Orleans Pelicans, who are having pretty much the season from hell right now. They got to make something change. I mean, this team has some young talent, but ultimately I'm kind of running out of chances with Zion. I think I'm just kind of tapped out on him at this point. But we beat them. We sweep them. Now moving on to Memphis here, who, as we mentioned, you know, it's just a battle of 2 teams who have elite point guards in their backcourt. They have G.G. Jackson at the 3. Pascal Siakam is a fantastic addition. I don't know if I would have traded Triple J for him, just given the age and situation, but they're in the West Finals with us, so what do I know? We are currently up 2-0 against Memphis, make that 3-0. They take home game 4, but we close it out, and we are back in the NBA Finals, this time taking on Tyrese Halliburton and the Indiana Pacers. All right, Halliburton, Nembhard, Mathurin, Tari Eason. Okay, Desmond Bane also here. I mean, this is a pretty good team. They've obviously made some changes. No more Siakam. Interesting for sure. Well, here goes nothing. Split the first 2 at home, win game 3 on the road, and game 4. Don't blow this. Thank you. We go back-to-back. LaMelo Ball wins his 2nd straight Finals MVP. You know, when we kicked this thing off and, you know, I got LaMelo Ball as the return and the trade for Anthony Davis, I wasn't super pumped about it just because, again, LaMelo's great. There's no doubt about that in my mind. But Anthony Davis, you know, when healthy, is just an absolute monster. And really, whoever I traded Anthony Davis for outside of like a Joel Embiid or a Jokic or a Wembanyama was probably never really going to please me. But LaMelo stepped up and he proved me wrong, I guess. I never thought he was going to be a bum, but I didn't think he'd be this good. And he was fantastic for us, even playing out of position. So this one was fun. You know, we started this off with a team that I wouldn't say was great. You know, this Lakers team, I'm talking about the actual Lakers right now, they're not great. You know, they have their nights where they look really good, but ultimately I don't really think they're contending right now. And we turned it around pretty damn quick and ultimately brought them 2 championships. Now putting them back in the lead against the Celtics for most championships in NBA history. So this one was fun. Again, I'm excited to be back. I hope you guys are excited to watch the videos again. It was a very needed break, just to, you know, it was a good reset, some good time off, and I am very much looking forward to getting back into the normal swing of things. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Let me know any other video ideas down below in the comment section. Always open to anything and everything you guys want to see. And yeah, this one was a blast. So that's it for me. As always, thanks so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll catch you guys all in the next one.